Hello, this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, please click that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. Also, I give away the demo card, so if you're a first-time subscriber, put your email in the comments, and I'll email you back and let you know if you won the card. Also, make sure you watch the video all the way through, because you never know. I might give the card away to anyone, or I might be doing card kits or swaps or something. So anyway, now let's go make a card. Today's card is another graduation card, because I don't know about you, but I've got a lot of kids graduating in the family and my daughter's friends. In fact, my daughter is a senior this year, and yeah, she's graduating as well. So this is going to be a really cute card. Now, right now I've got like a masculine and feminine one, and at the moment, if you noticed, the right side of the inside of the card is blank, and that's because I am doing another money card. I did this card on my last video, which was on Sunday. So if you go into my videos and my playlist, there's another graduation card, and look what we did. And we made a money pad, so they can peel off their money just like a notepad like this. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well, and we're going to make both cards today. So let's start with the money first. So the first thing you need is your denomination of money. Now, when I went to the bank, and I did this on the last video as well, I forgot to ask for new bills. So if you can, ask for new bills, because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure they're all going the correct way. And then I have to look through and take all the ones that the corners are all turned the wrong way, even if it's on the other side, just to kind of make it look nice. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe even take the nicest one. If you forgot to ask for bills, put that aside, the nicest one, so you can put that one on the top. But I'm going to go through my whole stack, because I got 25 of these ones, and I'm going to straighten them up, and I'll be right back. Now that you've taken all the creases out of your bills, you're going to take it and you're going to make sure that all the $1 bills are straight and are touching, especially that left edge. And then you're going to take a piece of light cardboard, and we're lucky, we get a piece of light cardboard every time we order DS paper. So this is the back of DS paper. It's Playful Pets. It discontinued, so I kept this piece, and what I did is I cut two pieces of it off, and these are 2.75 by 6. So you're going to take this and you're going to line this up with your dollar bills on the bottom. And then you're going to take the other piece and line up the dollar bills on the top. Then you're going to give it another little stacking little thing here. And then you're going to take some binder clips and you're going to bind it all the way down. Now, when you put them on, leave those clips up, because we're going to need that in a moment. So I'm using a lot of these for no reason. You probably get away with just the two at the top, but I'm being paranoid, so I'm just going to use a bunch of them here. All right, and then in the notes on my video, open it up, and there'll be a link to Amazon for this padding compound. This is white, it's 2 ounces. There's a ton of it in here. It will literally last you forever and a day. So go to the notes and you can look that up, and then grab a crummy paintbrush, and we are going to take the paintbrush and dip it in the compound and paint the edge. Now, if you're a little scared to do it just by, my instructions, just get some like copy paper and make a dry run, and you'll get really comfortable with it, because it's not scary, believe me. And then we're going to put a coat here, and then we're going to do another coat in a few minutes. We're going to start making the card, and then we're going to put another coat on it. So when I put this down with those clips up, they don't touch anything. So we're going to put this to the side to dry. So the stamps and the dies that we're going to be using are Suit and Tie. This one retires at the end of June. So, and I sell all my products that retire If you want to go to Noreen at joyacards.com, if you're looking for a stamp set, I sell on my stamp sets, so I get rid of them. And then I'm also using the sentiment tag from Potted Succulent. So this die set and that one die here, I'm using Congratulations from Peaceful Moment. And from Best Year, I'm using Hip Hip Hooray and You Did It. So you're going to start out with 2 card bases because we are going to make both cards. The masculine one is going to be in basic gray and the feminine one is going to be in basic black. Both of these cards are scored 9 by 8, and then the 8 side you're going to score at 4. For the masculine card, the insides are going to be black, and these are going to be 3.5 by 8.5. So make 2 of those. And the feminine one is going to be cut 3.5 by 8.5 in real red. And go ahead and snail these on the inside. So it's going to look like that. This is the feminine one. This is the masculine one. And then you're going to cut 2 pieces of white. And these are going to be 3 by 8. Now you're going to take the 2 stamps from Best Year. You're going to take You Did It and Hip Hip Hooray. And get out your memento. And you're going to put on Hip Hip Hooray first. And we're going to put it right about here. And I gave myself a little room on the edge because you're going to put You Did It in the corner here. And then the corner here. Then I also put it on this side. And this side. And this side. And this side. Now I like using my stamping pad. I think it makes a better connection with the paper and with the stamp. So I am using my stamping pad. I'm actually using 2 because I like to actually ink up my stamps with the ink pad on top of the stamping pad as well. I think it's better in the long run. So we're doing 2 of these for the 2 cards, just like so. And then all we're going to do for the moment is just snail these up, and you're going to put it on the left side of the card, not the right, because we're going to put the money on the right. Now with the masculine card, since we've got a gray base, we're going to put black on top. So all you do is cut a piece of black 4 by 8. Now we don't need to do this to the feminine card. So it's going to look like so. Now we're going to make the front of the card here the shirt part. So go ahead, for the masculine one, get a basic gray, and for the feminine one, get a real red. And cut them about 4 by 6. It's important they be 4 across for sure. Now we're going to find the middle point of this card here. We'll just do one at a time. So this is going to be 4.5 inches down. So go to 4.5 on the long end here and make a couple of marks just so you know, because we're going to try to find the center point. So that's 4.5 and that's 4.5. And then I'm going to measure on that mark you just made 2, and that's the center. So right there. So that's, I know it's the center. So I'm going to take my ruler again and put it on that center mark and line it up with the corner here. So center mark and the corner, and it's best you use a mechanical pencil because it makes such a thin light mark that if you miss that corner you can just erase it. So I'm going to do that here. So that's the masculine one. I'm going to do the feminine one, and I'll be right back. Now you're going to grab your cutter. Now the Stampin' Up! Cutters, this is Stampin' Up!, has a cutter and a score on it. It's awesome. I totally recommend that. So I'm going to take my masculine one first, and I'm going to put that score line in the gully of the cutting line right here. And I know you can't see this part, but when you close it, so you got that one lined up, when you close it, you can see through this area where the blade goes through. So just make sure they're lined up in the middle of that gully, and cut that one. And then we're going to cut the other one. So we're going to line this up in the gully, kind of guess on the bottom a little bit, put this down, and just make sure, I'm going to put my head in the video, sorry. And just make sure you see that line on the end in the middle of that gully, like so. And here's the feminine one. I'm going to do the same thing. Line it up in the gully there, kind of guesstimate it on the bottom, and then look through the gully here till you see that pencil mark and cut. And then do the same thing on the other side, kind of guesstimate it. Make sure that line, whoops, I lost my line. Wiggle it around in the middle and cut like so. So now you have two triangles. Now you're going to get the suit and tie dies, and you're going to grab this long die here and cut 4 of these strips in basic black. Then you're going to grab this die right here, which is the shirt for the masculine card, and you're going to cut that in basic white. Then you're going to get the tie die from it, and you're going to cut one in basic black. Now for the feminine card, we have petal pink as the skin tone, and you can use whatever skin tone you want, whatever's appropriate. And grab this die also from suit and tie. Grab this one and cut just a big piece like this. We're going to cut a lot of it off, but just cut a piece like this. Now from the same die set, grab that same die again and grab the gray one, and we're going to put this down about 2.5 inches on the masculine one, and you can kind of just eyeball it. So there's 2.5 inches. I'll put my die here and then just kind of make sure that it looks like it's in the middle. I think you can eyeball it. You don't have to sit there and micro cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this down on my die cutter and take out this part. Here's the masculine side. We'll put that one down, and then we're going to get the feminine side and do the same thing, except I don't want to go as low. I think I want to go to only like 2 inches. So, just eyeball 2 inches there and put this in the middle. Make sure you tape it when you run it through the die cutter, because this could like wiggle around and then it's like crooked. So I'm going to tape this down and run it through the die cutter, and I'll be right back. And the feminine side now looks like this. So now I'm going to take the feminine card base, it's the one with the red in it, and we're going to snail one side of the shirt. So I'm only doing the left side here. I'm going to line this up where I want it and put it down. Okay. Then I'm going to grab that petal pink or whatever color you had, and I'm going to snail the back, and I'm going to lift up that one side we didn't snail down, and I'm going to line that up. Here's another good reason I use snails, because I can adjust things out. So if something wasn't right, I could take it out. So I've got those. So I'm going to go ahead and snail the other side. Okay, that's the feminine. Now here is the masculine, and make sure on both of these when you're doing this piece, it's the one that has the gully. You can see the imprint of the die here. That needs to be on top. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to snail down 1/2 of it and line it up with my card base. Make sure that you got the right one and put it right at the top. Okay, so that's the first piece. Now we need to cut a piece of the gray background here, and just cut this 275 by 1.5, and you might have to even take off a little bit. So let's go ahead and snail that up, and we're going to tuck that under the shirt piece, and you might have to pull up the piece a little bit and then line it up to the top. Okay, so it'll look like that. Now grab the tie, and I'm just going to cut off a little piece. You can kind of line it up and see we don't need all this bulk at the end. So I'm going to cut off the tie, and I'm going to snail that. And then I'm also going to take that shirt and snail this piece on as well. And lift this up. And you might have to lift up the little corner here and kind of put that in the middle. Okay, where you like it. So that looks good. And then take that tie, and you might have to lift up the shirt a little bit and get that in the middle. It's just a matter of wiggling things around. But that looks really good. Now we're going to go ahead and snail down this piece that's kind of just hanging there. Like so. Before we put these stripes on here, we're going to make this piece here. So grab a piece of scrap black, and these are like that long, and just take a piece of that scrap, make sure you got it down deep enough, and we're going to run these through, and we're going to make 2 of these. So it's going to look like this. You're going to take this and put that to the side, take this off, and what we're going to be using is the gully part of this die, the negative and the gully part. If you notice, there's, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a slight like gully here. And go ahead and take a pair of sharp scissors and some really good light. You have to kind of get it where you can see it and cut right down that gully, because we're going to make that little trim for the gown. So just take it really slow, and if you need to cut things off, then cut them off if they're in the way. And this one I cut purposely a little close to this edge, just to show you you need that gully, so don't take it all the way down. And then when you get to the gully, it curves. So just, I mean, inch it along ever so slowly, and turn at the same time right in that gully, and then right up again. Make sure you got enough paper here to grab onto as well, so don't make your scrap too small, otherwise you don't have anything to hang on to. And now it's getting to be a little bulky in my way. I'm going to cut this off and then turn it over, which probably isn't a good idea because then I have to match them in the middle, so let's not do that. So I'm going to just cut this part off, and I've got the light going the correct way. I'm in the gully, and that's what we get. So I'm going to cut the other one, and I'll be right back. Now that those are cut off, go ahead and take some snail and snail it up. Just make sure all the little webbings on the edges are not sticking out. And then you're going to put this inside of the gully of the shirt. So I'm going to do that and just line it up, and they will hang off the edge of the card. You definitely want to do that. So just line them up like so. And then you need to open up the card, and from the inside, clip those off. And that looks like that. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So snail these up and put that in the gully again. And by the way, this is a silicone craft sheet. If you don't have one of those, oh my goodness, they are the best. That's what keeps my glass clean, so I'm not constantly getting anything on my glass. So here I lined it up, I put it in the gully, and I'm going to take the back end of the card and cut the little doohickeys off. Now we're going to put the stripes on. So I'm going to take one of the stripes, and I'm going to, before I even snail it, I'm going to eyeball it. So I'm going to put it right here on the side in the middle, because it gets thinner on that side. And I'm going to kind of guesstimate how much I'm going to cut off. Now, you want to hang some of it off the edge here, so you can cut it, because it's going to be longer than that. And then kind of eyeball it to about here, and I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to go ahead and snail it up. I'm going to hang this part over the edge and put it where I want it, right about there. Now don't worry about this intersection, because we're going to put the hat over it. So this doesn't have to be all pretty. So now I'm going to take another side and snail it up and do the same thing, kind of hang it over the edge and do that. So it's going to look like that, and of course open it up again, and we're going to cut these off. So that's what the masculine is going to look like. Don't worry about this part now. And now we're going to do the same thing with the feminine side. We're going to snail the stripe, and I'm going to kind of guesstimate it, and right about there, and snail up the other stripe and guesstimate about right here, and then flip it over and cut these off. On the feminine card, I grabbed my 2021-2023 in color jewels. These are new in the catalog, and I'm going to grab the yellow ones, and I'm going to put them in a way so it looks like a little necklace. So I'm grabbing the smaller ones and putting them around. So it looks like that. Now we're going to make the hat. So you're going to grab 2 blacks, and you're going to cut these 3.5 by 3.5, and then 1 red and 1 basic gray in 2.7 by 5 by 2.75. So let's put the top of the hat to the side here and grab the large piece of black. What on this 3.5 by 3.5, you're going to take a 1/2 inch and you're going to score it on all 4 sides, just like so. Now you're going to take that piece, and on the score line in the corners, you're going to cut out the little square in each corner like this. Now you can do this on the trimmer. In fact, I did one of these cards on the trimmer and it's fine. You could totally do it, but it is faster to cut them out this way, only because you know, you don't have to look to line up on the score line, but also it doesn't matter if these lines are straight, so there's no reason to you need to do it on the trimmer. So I'm going to take all 4 of these corners out. Now that I've cut all the 4 corners out, I'm going to go ahead and score them one at a time, like so. Now I could have just taken a square and put a square on top of that, but this actually looks more like a hat because I did that the first time and went, ugh, that kind of looks crummy. So this is just to give it a little more of a hat looking definition on here. So now once you've got the 4 sides scored, then take your snail and snail all 4 pieces, and then do one side and one side and one side and one side, and you might even do a little score, and that's the top of the hat. So I'm going to do the other one and I'll be right back. Now we're going to put the hat together. Now when I did it on these 2 cards, I just snailed them and put them on, but you know what, I'm going to try one with dimensionals and see what it looks like. And I'm going to use black dimensionals because this is black. What's great about the black dimensionals is get the big ones and the little ones in the same package. So, and these will be in my notes of my video, and if you click on the little link, it'll take you to my Stampin' Up site, and if you want to place an order, you can go ahead and place an order directly with me. So anyway, so one's dimensional and one isn't. It's 1/2 dozen of the other. I don't think it makes any difference. Now that we're kind of almost done with the card here, I just want to take another coat and put it on the money. So go ahead and get some more out and just make sure all the little cracks and crevices are all filled up, and put on another little coat and then let it dry. Now we're going to make this little tassel. It's really cool. This is from Snail Mail. It's Snail Mail Twine Combo Pack. There's a pink one in there and there's a white one in there. These are also retiring the end of June. So if you want to place an order for these, get them really quick before they're out. So this link will be in my notes. You can click on it and go right to my site. So go ahead and take that white twine and take 3 fingers and wrap it around 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then take your scissors and cut it off and put it to the side here. And then we're going to grab about, oh, I don't know, we're going to grab a little over what we need, about 5 or 6 inches of one piece here, and grab another 5 or 6 inches of this piece here. And then you're going to grab that loop that you just did and pinch it in the middle, and you're going to tie a knot. And I'm going to take the longer string and I'm going to tie that knot. Now on my other video that I did on Sunday, the other graduation card, I actually used my teeth. So this is like coordination that I don't have. So I'm going to sit here and try to manipulate my knot. And guess what? I'm going to use my teeth again and pull that string. And I did it. Woohoo! And then tie a second knot, and not like that, okay? And then you're going to take the knot that you just did and take those 2 pieces up like so, and then you're going to pull the loops down. So we got the loops in our starter string, that's down, and then the ends that you just tie the knot on to the other side. And then you're going to grab this other piece of string and you're going to put it almost at the top of where these strings off to the side are, and you're gonna tie another knot. And so I'm gonna do, see if I can do it without using my teeth this time. So just kind of holding it there and tying a knot like so, and almost to the top. There, I did it without using my teeth. Woohoo! So I'm going to take those strings and pull it down with the loops. So you got that middle string knot and then everything else to the right. And now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the loops first. And then I'm going to even it up with everything. So I'm just going to cut that off like so. And that is how you make a tassel. So, and then one last step is you will take these two things on the top and make sure they're even at the top. So, and then cut off maybe the little knot that you put on the side here. Now I'll make another one. I'll be right back. Now we're going to make the little piece, the little dots in the middle of the hat. And what I used is my detail trio, and use this little, just this one little thing here. And I made a red one for the feminine one and the basic gray for the masculine one. And then take a glue dot. Now try to find the smallest glue dot that you can get, because we got to make this really tiny. I'm going to take this glue dot and kind of roll it in my fingers and flatten it out. And I'm going to put it in the middle of that card here, maybe a little higher than the middle, and push it down really good. And then I'm going to take these two ends. This is why the two ends have to be the same length. So make sure those are the same length. And I'm going to put it on that glue dot. And you can even like put it in your mouth, make it wet, and kind of twirl it a little bit. See if you can get those two strings to stick together. And put it on that glue dot like so. And this is the part that you're going to have to fiddle a little bit with. So go ahead and fiddle with it. And then we're going to put the piece on top. So this is the masculine one. And I'm going to grab another glue dot and do the same thing. Kind of mush it up, make it real thin and flat. And I'm going to squish it on top of that string. And then I'm going to put this little dot on top. Now, don't forget, I give away the demo card. Now, I'm only giving away one demo card because I need to make a bunch of graduation cards. I've got a lot of kiddos graduating. My daughter is a senior. She's graduating, which is so sad because they missed their, part of their junior year. And my daughter missed all of her senior year because they never went back to school after COVID. And actually, they did in December, after December. But we decided to graduate her early because there's no reason to expose her to a virus that's killing people or bringing it home or killing someone else. So we graduated her early. She had enough credits to do it. She already got into college, and so we did that. But all her friends are graduating. It's really, really sad. So the hat will look like so. And actually, you might even, I'm going to pull this up. Before you do this, measure up how long you want that string. So like I only want it this far, so I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to do the same thing. Now that I've got my tassels on, I'm going to go ahead and snail the back. And I'm going to, of course, put the red and black one right over this spot here. And then I'm going to take the other one and put it on this spot right here. Now we're going to make the sentiment for the front, and you're going to take this die from Potted Succulent, and you're going to cut them out in basic white. And congratulations from Peaceful Moments. And we'll grab our memento here and my two Stampin' Pads. I know I'm crazy. And just go ahead and stamp those out. And watch the sides of your ink pad, because I know when I ink things up, it drips on the side, and then you get it on your hands, and then you destroy your piece, and it's awful. It's always the memento. So there you go. Of course, we're going to take that sentiment, put some black dimensionals on the back, and put them on the middle front. And that's most of the card. Now we're going to look at our money stack. So now the big reveal, we're going to take these binder clips off. And you're going to take off the piece of cardboard that's the front. Don't take off the back. Take off the front and just peel it off like so. And you get a stack, a money pad. So we're going to take the money pad and take some tear tape, because you're gonna need something that's gonna need to hold on to it really strong. So I would take like 4 strips of tear tape and put it on the back. I got the tape off the back of the tear tape, and we're just going to put it in the middle. Don't forget, I give away the demo card, so I'm only giving away one. Just tell me which one you like. Hopefully it'll be the masculine, because I've got so many girls, and it'll of course be minus the money. I'm not going to give you cash, but you'll get one of the demo cards. Just put your email in my comments. Say you like the card, you're a first-time subscriber, only first-time subscribers, and I'll get your address and I'll put it in the mail. So that'll do it for me. Bye.